alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, your excellencies. It gives me a great pleasure to attend the annual investment meeting 2019 and contribute to the success of the forum with my contribution, which will focus mostly on an important initiative from the UAE government to sustain the country economic diversification growth strategy, which is the establishment of the Federal Export Credit Company, namely Etihad Credit Insurance. Etihad in Arabic means union. I will start to share some information regarding the global economic growth and challenges, the environment, that investors and exporters face in this complex economic cycle. Then I will share with you some promising figures regarding the expected growth of the UAE economy. And finally, I will introduce to you the role and mission of Etihad Credit Insurance to ease corporates doing business in the UAE. The global economy is projected to grow in 2019 by 2.9% according to IMF. And global trade growth is also expected to grow 3.7% this year. However, investment flows, international trade, and global manufacturing activities had an impact from some factors of uncertainty, including trade tensions, fiscal consolidations, currency volatility, and geopolitical risk increase. According to the World Economic Forum Global Risk Report 2019, rising of geopolitical and geoeconomic tensions represent the most urgent global risk at present. From emerging economies to mature ones, investments and trade are increasingly exposed to uncertainty, which limits the potential of growth. According to Fitch Solutions, UAE represents a real area of safe haven for businesses and investment due to its political stability, state-of-the-art infrastructures, strategic location, encouraging business regulations, and open economy. In such global economic scenario, it's not a surprise to see three major impacts. The first one, global FDI flows continued their slide in 2019, falling to an estimated $1.2 trillion from $1.47 trillion of 2017. This third consecutive year drop brings FDI flows back to the low point reached after the global financial crisis. The second impact is that the World Trade Outlook indicator in Q9 2019 slowed down below trend of trade expansion due to reduced export orders in all major good categories. This global world trade downward trend, by the way, was already visible from the last quarter of 2018, from October, November, and December. And the third impact comes from the global insolvencies outlook from private credit insurers, which confirms a rising trend in private corporate insolvencies, increasing the risk of corporates' delay of payments or non-payments. Despite the global economic scenario, the UAE economy is in a good shape and is expected to continue its growth by 3.5% in 2019, following the more prudent estimate of the UAE Central Bank, or by 3.7% according to the IMF estimation, which considers the UAE economy well sustained by non-oil GDP growth, thanks to the increased private sector credit, higher inward investment expected to rise by 20% in 2019 due to the new FDI law, which enhanced furtherly the attractiveness of investment in the UAE, where Dubai is one of the top FDI performer in 2018, and government stimuli, where Abu Dhabi government announced 50 billion dirham stimulus package last year to expand the private sector and encourage higher levels of investment, and is set up to be rolled out in 2019. And the approaching Expo 2020 event in Dubai, which with inflation expected to remain low, notwithstanding the introduction of the VAT early in 2018. Last but not least, the banks remain liquid and well capitalized. Well, all this is due actually to a very well diversified economy. You see from the slide that the non-oil GDP accounts more than 70% and is expected to continue its long-lasting growth by 3.7% this year. Well, the non-oil foreign trade, which constantly exceeded $400 billion, and the increasing investment flows are constantly sustained by the UAE open economy, with access to global financial markets through the financial centers in both Abu Dhabi and Dubai, and by the commercial markets with its 7 international airports and 15 seaports. However, UAE corporates require protection against some trade risks to secure their investments and to enhance their capabilities and competitiveness, as well to expand the geographical scope of their business in the region and in the global markets in order to continue their contributions to the country's GDP growth. For this reason, it was established Etihad Credit Insurance, aimed at providing confidence to non-oil UAE-based exporters and investors. This is an initiative of the UAE federal government and the government of Abu Dhabi, Dubai, Ras Al Khaimah, Fujairah and Ajman, under the leadership of the chairman, His Highness Sheikh Hamdan bin Rashid Al Maktoum, UAE Ministry of Finance and Deputy Ruler in Dubai, and the strategic direction of His Excellency Sultan bin Saeed Al Mansouri, the Ministry of Economy of UAE, in line with the economic agenda included in the Vision 2021. Etihad Credit Insurance is a risk-based company aimed at securing UAE export and re-export of goods, services and capital against commercial and non-commercial risks. Namely, I'm mentioning political risks. We talked about, during this session before, about political risks and trade tensions and policy issues from some governments. We put the investment to make this in artificial intelligence as a top priority in ACI to offer UAE corporates the most advanced decision techniques in risk underwriting through a set of predictive algorithms and credit analysis, enriching ECI information database using some keywords to process automatically big data of information from the web. Etihad Credit Insurance now, after 1 year of activity, is in a good position to provide confidence and protection to sellers and investors, which are competing globally in foreign markets, by offering trade credit insurance, surety bonding, export financing, investment protection, and bank letter of credit confirmation. Etihad Credit Insurance can protect, as I mentioned before, against 2 risks. One is the political risk, one is the commercial risk, so insolvencies of corporates. To achieve its mandate, ECI, and this is unique, has not worked by itself, but perfectly embedded the DNA of the UAE, the partnership approach. So it's created an ecosystem of stakeholders and supporting partners from ministries. 3 ministers are supporting ECI, Ministry of Economy, Foreign Affairs, and of course the Ministry of Finance, and multilateral export and investment agencies, Chamber of Commerce, banks, and foreign governments export credit agencies, which is a number of partners constantly growing month after month. To conclude and summarize, I hope I use my 10 minutes very effectively. Good. ACI is one of the UAE government initiatives established last year to sustain country economic diversification growth strategy, which, 1, behaves as a facilitator to ease non-oil trade and investments for any UAE-based corporate size, leveraging on artificial intelligence innovation. 2, act as a stabilizer of the private export credit insurance market by filling the gaps in terms of insurance capacity and risk appetite. 3rd, last but not least, is an economic accelerator, encouraging the banking system through its policies and guarantees to lend and finance the SMEs, which represent the backbone of a UAE diversified economy. If you are a UAE registered company, contact ECI. We take on risk so you can grow your international business and investment expansion with confidence. Thank you for your attention.